Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today in this session we shall study about energy production through anaerobic respiration in microorganisms. Anaerobic respiration. Some living organisms cannot live in presence of air. For example, bacteria. Such organisms have to perform anaerobic respiration for energy production. Glucose is incompletely oxidized and less amount of energy is obtained in this type of respiration. Glycolysis and fermentation are two steps of anaerobic respiration. Glycolysis. In glycolysis process, 6 carbon atom compound glucose is oxidized into 3 carbon atom compound pyruvic acid. Fermentation. Pyruvic acid produced through glycolysis is converted into other organic acids or alcohol with the help of some enzymes in this process. This is called as fermentation. Some higher plants, animals, and aerobic microorganisms also perform anaerobic respiration instead of aerobic respiration if there is depletion in oxygen level in the surroundings. For example, during germination of seeds, they perform anaerobic respiration if soil is submerged under water. Next example, during vigorous exercise, our muscles perform anaerobic respiration. During exercise, very less amount of energy is produced and lactic acid accumulates in our body because of which we feel tired. Next point is energy from different food components. We obtain energy from carbohydrates, proteins and lipids. When we consume carbohydrates, it is first break down into simple compound glucose in the process of digestion. When this glucose is transported to each and every cells of the body, there ATP is released after the oxidation of glucose. We get 4 kilocalorie of energy per gram of carbohydrate. Proteins. Proteins are macromolecules formed by binding many amino acids together. Macromolecules means when two or more molecules bond together by peptide bonds. Protein is a macromolecule of amino acids. Sources of proteins are meat, fish, eggs, milk, cheese and yogurt. Proteins of animal origin are called as first class proteins. It means the proteins which we get after consuming eggs, meat, chicken, etc. are called first class proteins. We get 4 kilocalorie of energy per gram of protein. When we consume protein rich food, the amino acids are formed after the digestion. These soluble amino acids are then transported to different cells of different organs of our body. In different organs, different types of proteins are formed which are necessary for themselves and whole body. See in this diagram, different proteins are synthesized in different organs of our body. It is shown by this diagram. In skin, the melanin and keratin proteins are synthesized from amino acids. In blood cells, hemoglobin and antibodies proteins are synthesized from amino acids. In muscle cells, actin and myosin flexible proteins are synthesized from amino acids. In cells of pituitary glands, proteins of various hormones are synthesized from amino acids. In cells of pancreas, proteins of insulin and trypsin are synthesized from amino acids. In different cells of our body, for the formation of cell membrane, the protein which is required is synthesized from amino acids. At the same time, enzyme which is required is also synthesized in every cells of our body. In bone cells, from amino acid, a protein ocein is produced. The next component of our body is lipids. Lipid is a combination of fatty acids and alcohol. The sources of lipid are butter, vegetable oil, cholesterol, etc. In short, oily foodstuffs are a rich source of lipids. When we consume lipid-rich food, this lipid is digested in our body and then converted into a simple compound called fatty acids and alcohol. Now these fatty acids are absorbed by the bloodstream and then transported to various parts of the body where the necessary substances are synthesized from it. We get 9 kilocalorie of energy per gram of lipid. The phospholipids, which is formed from fatty acids, is used for producing plasma membrane of cells. Fatty acids are also useful for the synthesis of hormones like progesterone, estrogen, testosterone and aldosterone. Covering around the axons of nerve cells is also made up of fatty acids. The excess of lipids are stored in adipose connective tissue of our body. Next component is vitamins. Vitamins do not give us energy, but these are protective and regulative nutrient because it protects our body from different types of diseases. Vitamin is a group of heterogeneous compound and each of which is required for proper functioning of our body. Types of vitamins. There are main 6 types of vitamins. They are vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. Here vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K are called fat soluble vitamin, whereas vitamin B and vitamin C are water soluble vitamins. The NADH2 and FADH2, which are formed in glycolysis and Krebs cycles, are synthesized by riboflavin, that is vitamin B2, and nicotinamide, that is vitamin B3. Next component is fibers. Fibers are also essential nutrient of our body. Although we cannot digest fiber, it helps us in digestion of other substances and digestion of undigested food. Sources of fibers. Sources of fibers are leafy vegetables, fruits and cereals. The next component of our body is water. There is about 65 to 70% of water in our body. Each cell contains 70% of water by weight. Blood plasma contains 90% of water. The functioning of cells and thereby whole body disturbed even if there is little loss of water from our body. Hence, water is an essential component.